Hey guys, Sky from Reignited here. Now I know I said I was done with this channel, but when the news comes along that Tim Kuniskis has retired from Dodge, you gotta make a video about that. You just do. You may have seen this, you may have heard the news already, may have seen some other videos from channels like Butter to Insider or OC Motivator. Now I would say that those guys are kind of more, I don't want to like label them like this, but they're kind of a bit more like drama-based type channels. So that's not really my field. Obviously, I focus more on the technical aspects of things, but they kind of dive more into the nitty-gritty of the stuff behind that. I don't really do that, but in this case, I felt like I had to address the news of him retiring because, let's be honest here, does anyone on the planet believe that he voluntarily retired from his position? I mean, I guess there's a chance that that happened. Maybe he's just trying to get out before the house completely falls down, which, you know, I guess potentially that could be the case. But for me personally, I feel like this probably was not his decision. I felt like the company was just, they were ready to completely cut ties with anything from the old way of doing things. They're moving in a new direction. They're like, you know what? We're done here, we're moving on. Now, interestingly, apparently Kuniskis was the CEO of both Ram and of Dodge, and they've actually split that leadership now. So Ram is going to be helmed by, I think it was Christine Fuel, something like that. She's been apparently the CEO of Chrysler for the last 3 years. So she's gonna step into that leadership role at Ram, and then another guy, Matt McAleer, doing terrible with these names, but he's actually going to step in as the CEO of Dodge. Now, to me, when you have a parent company that comes in after whatever merger or something like that and basically gets rid of the old leadership and installs new leadership, what does that tell you? It means the new leadership is going to be lockstep with the parent company of Stellantis here. So Stellantis has shown what direction they want to go. They're tired of the way Dodge was doing things. They want to do things their own way now, so they're cutting ties with all of that. And that's really unfortunate. And I gotta be completely honest here. Now, I've told you guys for years that I've been a Dodge technician for the last 13, going on 14 years now. Now, technically, I am a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram technician. I work on all of the brands at my dealership. But what I'm saying is, I'm really worried about the brand right now. You know, this is what I do for a living. Now, obviously, I can jump to another manufacturer. A car is a car is a car. If you can work on one, you can work on another. However, I have put a ton of time in my life towards training on Dodge-specific based vehicles, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram vehicles. I have all of my training certifications in those types of vehicles. I spend a ton of hours every single year getting trained up on the new stuff that's coming out from that manufacturer so I can be as effective as possible in my position. I take pride in what I do, and I try to do the very best job that I possibly can when I'm working on people's vehicles. I don't really relish the thought of jumping to a different brand at this time. It can be done, but it's just, I'm not really interested in doing something like that because like I said, I like what I do currently. But I'm worried. I really am. I mean, I think you guys have seen this absolute and complete dumpster fire that is the new vehicles that are coming out from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. The Ram trucks are fine. There's nothing wrong with those. I think those are just fine. I'm actually a fan of the RHO that's coming out, the Ram 1500 that's powered by the Hurricane inline-6 twin-turbo engine. I think that's actually a really cool vehicle. I don't think Ram is in any trouble right now. I think that is going just fine. But when you think about it, what in the world does Chrysler even make right now? Okay, they make the Pacifica. Do they make anything else right now? And then you think about Dodge, and the only thing Dodge makes is the completely outdated Durango and the Hornet, which no one wants to buy. And I don't blame them one bit because that car is stupid, no one asked for it, and it's overpriced for what it is. Makes no sense to me. And then, yeah, you're gonna have the new Chargers coming in next year, the EV Charger. Who asked for that? How many of those are we really gonna sell? So the future of Dodge right now is definitely a concern for me. Jeep, they're doing okay. I think they're really starting to get overpriced for what you're getting from them. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I'm not the biggest Wagoneer fan, and those cost a tremendous amount of money. A Jeep Grand Cherokee is a great vehicle. I like those cars a lot, but they're also, I feel like, overpriced for what they are. Wranglers are Wranglers. They need to update that thing as well. Even though the JL came out just a few years ago, that thing needs to be updated too. It's already time for a refresh on that. So what I'm saying is I have a lot of concerns moving forward right now. I don't know if you guys have heard too much about a lot of the QC or quality control issues that are coming out. I don't know if this is affecting all manufacturers, but in the last 2 to 3 years, I've seen more QC issues with brand new vehicles than I've seen in my entire career. Now, we want to blame all of that on COVID, or I did for a long time, saying, okay, well, look, our supply lines are all messed up. You know, everyone's having struggles right now going through the COVID era, but now we've come out of that by a good couple of years, 2-3 years now. And we're still seeing these QC issues on these brand spanking new vehicles. Like, I'm talking about electrical connectors that aren't plugged in straight from the factory. Talking about stuff that's not fully installed from the factory or installed incorrectly, or it's coming in with scratches and dents on it, not from transport, but direct from the manufacturer. So just odd stuff that I really didn't see earlier in my career. And all of that has got me concerned about the future of the brand, where it's headed, and who's actually going to be buying these vehicles. So no, I don't believe that Tim Kuniskis has left voluntarily, but I do want to say a couple of things about him as well. And that is that I want to say thank you. You know, a lot of people aren't saying thank you to him right now. I want to say thank you to him because look at what he offered for us. Now, obviously, he wasn't in his position when this original RT Magnum came out, but realistically, you know, he paved the way for these Hellcats, for the Demon 170, all of these things. So he was the one who brought these cars to the masses, which is it's utterly ridiculous when you think about it. Like, what sort of cars we got for so many years. It was absolutely incredible. And it was also funny because you could tell that he saw the writing on the wall, because for those last few years before they cut off the Hemi, he was pushing all of these crazy vehicles out, like the highest horsepower vehicles you'd ever heard of. He's like, let's build more, better, 1,000 horsepower. Yes, do it. And he was able to get those in under the wire, and then boom, that's it. They're done with the Hemi engine. Now, I get it. All of the price gouging that was happening through the dealers. Don't condone that, obviously, but at least he got those cars built in the first place. And now we have a legacy of those cars that are out there, and realistically, a used Hellcat is within the realm of possibility for people to buy, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Like, the average person can afford to buy a 707 horsepower vehicle, which is just utterly insane. And of course, it was my inspiration for building this car, because that's essentially what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get Hellcat power out of this twin-charged Magnum right here, which I do have some updates for you guys on the twin-charged Magnum here. I don't know if you can tell, I have a new set of wheels on here. I didn't like the old wheels. They just didn't quite fit the look, so got some new wheels on here. But importantly, we're making really big strides here on the tuning of this vehicle. Adam at the Shed Tuning and Performance down in Houston, Texas, he's been working with me and he's doing a fantastic job. We're going out there and we're testing this thing. And unfortunately, we are at the limits of the current injectors in here, and I do have Hellcat injectors. We're at 98% duty cycle, which should tell you where we stand on the horsepower scale. So again, love working with Adam so far, and it shows you guys, he's down in Houston, Texas. I'm in Oregon. It doesn't matter where you are. Remote tuning is a thing, and it's possible to get your vehicle tuned. So if you have a Hemi-based vehicle, and I'm using HP tuners on this car. If you have that set up and you're looking for a tuner, I highly encourage you, check Adam out. I'm gonna put a link in the description and also up here in the corner as well, so you can contact him. But again, we are making big progress on this vehicle. We are moving towards a video where I will be showing you a dyno video and at the track, but we're not quite there yet. So you'll see that here in a little while. But getting back to Tim Kuniskis, like I said, huge thank you to him for even getting these vehicles on the road in the first place. I think he's probably going to land at another automotive manufacturer, to be perfectly honest. He wants to continue his legacy, and I don't think he wants it to end on a sour note like this, walking away from Dodge. I think that's not the way he wants to be remembered, but he also doesn't want to be remembered as the guy who ran it into the ground. So I highly expect that he's going to end up with a different automotive manufacturer and start a new project somewhere that continues the legacy of a muscle car. And that's what I think. That's just an opinion of mine. He's still young enough where I think that's going to happen for him. Financially, you know, obviously he could walk away from all of this right now. Doesn't matter. That's, I don't think, going to be a factor in his decision. I think he genuinely loves cars, and I think he wants to leave a different legacy than what's out there right now. So that's my thoughts on the matter. I do want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think he was forced out? Do you think he did actually retire? Where do you think he's going to go from here? So that's it for me right now, you guys. I appreciate you checking in. If you're wondering about how I'm doing okay. I'm enjoying some time with my family, as I was hoping to do. Unfortunately, I did manage to hurt myself at work a number of weeks ago, and I have actually a pinched nerve in my neck right now. So having a little bit of struggle with that. It has been a frustration, but you know what? We're going to get through it just fine, and I'm going to get back to doing things that I enjoy doing. I will admit I do miss making the videos, but I don't think I'm ready to jump back into this just yet. But again, thank you guys for watching this video. We'll see you whenever I come at it next time.